start. So others will come. So that's okay. So who is going to pray?
प्रकृति ने चांस આપીએ આપણે.
પ્રકૃતિને ચાન્સ આપી. બિલકુલ સર, બિલકુલ. So over to you, Prakriti.
In fact is ready, huh?
She is ready. Fantastic. Very good. Super.
Prakriti, we can begin with prayer.
Yes. Sorry, I was on mute. Yeah. Okay. Shri Ramchandra Kripal Bhaj Man Haran Bhav Bhay Darunam Nav Kanjalo Chan Kanj Mukh Kar Kanj Pad Kanjarunam Shri Ram कंदर गणित अमित छवि नवनील नीरज सुंदरम पटपीत मानहु तरित रुचि शुचि नौमि जनक सुतावरम श्री राम श्री रामचंद्र कृपाल भज मन हरण भव भय दारुणम नव कंज लोचन कंज मुख कर कंज पद कंजारुणम श्री राम.
Thank you, Prakriti. Welcome to the participants, and very special thanks to AB. First, let us wish every participant and AB in particular a very happy New Year. We wish that he maintains, not maintains, he obviously wishes to grow in everything every day. So he becomes still far more, let's say, capable. He also becomes far more careful and maintaining about health. And that's with that as a small message. I request him to begin the session. This is a session which is a 13th session on personal branding. The series of talk is something which all of you who have attended can certainly transform you. Picking up few things itself would make sure that you are able to really get to the good career. The first issue what he has talked about is even the most important, which is touching the students, is in terms of the facing the interview. So of all the things that he has talked about, the one which immediately touches the students is about the facing the first impression for that matter. So with all those things and the 7 steps that now he is talking about of creating a personal brand, I think it's a different kind of an experience. It's a different AB in this session on personal branding. So over to you, sir.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much for those kind words, Patel sir, and welcome everyone. And so what I want to do is begin on a slightly different note. We will come to our module on personal branding, but I thought of challenging everyone who is listening to us live and who would listen to this recorded version later on. I want to challenge you on a few things. Let me first share my screen with all of you. So the first statement for this year is on your screen, and I would want one of you to explain this statement. The best way to predict the future is to create it. Anyone?
Yeah.
Prakriti is not trying. Yeah, please, go ahead.
No, okay.
Somebody
Okay.
else is trying.
I think, sorry.
Yeah, go ahead, Prakriti.
I was thinking that I can explain this using one more one-liner, which is I should be able to look at your preparation and exactly point your destination. So
That's right.
when we say that the best way to predict the future is to create it, so if you're working towards it, you know where that path is going to lead, and that point where it's leading is your future, right? So if you're on the path and if you're working towards it,
Good
that's how you
attempt.
create it.
So the challenge is, do you know where you are heading? Point number one. The best way to predict the future is to create it. And the best way to create the future is to design it. So how do you design your future? And I thought of starting this 2021 by sharing a small video of one of the most influential persons of our generation, and who certainly has designed the career not for himself but millions and millions and millions and millions of people across the world. And listen to him, and I would want you to make notes on it and then ask yourselves a few questions, and I'm going to ask those questions to you. So let's listen to Mukesh Ambani talking about three things that he would want to advise the youngsters of today. Three things. Please make notes of what he is sharing, and we are going to build the discussion from there. This is the starting point, and then we'll build and weave the whole story on this.
My first learning to the youth is dream big, align your passion and purpose in life with a goal. If you focus on the goal, you will overcome all obstacles. If you focus on obstacles, you will never reach your goal. My second learning: there is no substitute to hard work. Even more important is to pursue excellence. Aim at being the best, not just the best in India, but the best in the world. Pursue excellence and success will chase you. My third learning is it is very important to be positive and optimistic in life. Dismiss the prophets of doom. Have self-confidence. Believe in yourself, and above all, believe in India, because this country gives every Indian the opportunity to realize his dreams. And I think the best of India is yet to come. Thank you very much, ladies and gentlemen.
Okay, so I'm not going to ask you, but if asked, how many of us would be able to show our goals of 2021? I'm not saying tell about your goals, I'm using the word show about your goals. The second point, are we focusing upon the obstacles or are we focusing upon the goals? Remember, obstacles are those frightful things that we see when we take our eyes off our goal. I'll repeat what I said. Obstacles are those frightful things that we see when we take our eyes off our goal. Check out a video on Olympic let's say 110-meter hurdle race, and I'm talking about Olympics. So the best of the best are there competing in that 110-meter hurdle race, and you will see that whenever the athlete is focusing upon the hurdle in front of him or her, they will topple over, they will fall along with the obstacle. But if you look at the eyes of the winner, the person who is going to win that race is not looking at that obstacle, but is looking at what is called the checkered flag. So in this year, where is your focus? Number 2, and I've just made notes as I have and heard this video multiple times. Are you working hard? And hard work is not the number of hours that you work. It is with a direction. It is with a purpose. And he said that we need to align our passion, our purpose. Number 3 question is, how do you become a person of excellence? And when I think of that, my mind gives me 2 answers. Answer number 1, to become a person of excellence, I need to do what I do and I need to do it well. I cannot have a casual approach. I cannot be taking things for granted. Second is, whatever I do well, I need to do it with a good attitude. And I think so many of us need to improve on the second part of that statement, with a good attitude. Wanting to do it rather than having to do it. And the third is, how would you rate yourself on positivity and optimism? And if that scale is, let's say, from 1 to 10, how would you rate yourself? Few points to reiterate what the great man said. Are you dreaming big this year? Adversities causes some people to buy crutches, others to grow wings. What are we doing? In times of trouble, some people break, others break records. Are you buying crutches? And those crutches of excuses? Or are you becoming a person who is building his or her resourcefulness? Second point. You need to pursue excellence, and I can talk about excellence forever times. No matter what you do, that has to be the focus. And I want to build upon one statement that he said, not in this video, but he tells us in our meetings, is a set of 2 words. I need to learn, unlearn and relearn. I need to skill myself, de-skill and re-skill myself. And I think so the most difficult of this is unlearn. Are you unlearning? In this year of 2021, what are you going to stop doing? What skills are you planning to build, sharpen, acquire? And I've said this before, some of you have heard this, me say this earlier, skills pay bills. So let's look at some questions, and I would want to challenge you, and I would want you to be brutally honest. And there are a series of questions. I've shared these with some of you, but not all of you. And then we will come back to our personal branding content. And my ask of you is, be brutally honest to yourself. Remember, you can't cheat yourself. The first one is, did you achieve all the goals that you set out for the period of 2020? If yes, great. If no, why did you not achieve your goals? I'm not saying that you answer it on this call, but I want to give you a couple of minutes to think about it ponder upon it. I'm not going to tell you that think about it after the session when you have time, because we don't do that. The question, maybe I should go one step before. When we started 2020, did you have a goal? Because the year has changed, the calendar has changed, but unless I change, nothing else is going to change. The doors of change always open from the inside. So I'll give you about 60 seconds just to think, reflect, introspect, and be honest to yourself. If I failed to achieve my goals, why? What are my learnings? And as you're thinking, remember, my dear friends, you can have either excuses or your goals. You can't have both. Winners make progress, losers make excuses. First question. Second question, 60 seconds for you to think on this. Which were the goals that you made most progress on in the last year? Where have you significantly moved the needle to the right? Which areas of your life? Personal, professional, could be emotional, could be spiritual, could be physical. Which areas of your life have you made significant progress in the right direction? And as you're thinking about it, remember this statement: measure what matters. Because what you don't measure, how would you achieve it? So are you measuring? Do you have what is called MOS, measure of success? That yes, I'm moving. Maybe taking baby steps, but yes, baby steps in the right direction. Number 3, which were the goals you couldn't make any progress at all? Why? Next question. What challenges stood between you and some of your goals? How do you plan to overcome those challenges in this year of 2021? Because the challenges are not going to disappear because the calendar has changed. It is also called, what is your coping strategy? And if you're looking for an one-liner on this question, take this from me. Hope is not a strategy. You just can't hope for things to become better and then it will fall in place. No, hope is not a strategy. In fact, there's a book by that title. You may want to read that book. Next one. What 3 pieces of advice would you give to yourself basis the learnings of 2021 so that 2020 basis 2020 so that your 2021 could be better than the previous year? What are the 3 pieces of advice that you would give to yourself, not to anyone else? read more books, watch less television, stay away from social media, log off from Netflix, stop wasting time, becoming future ready. What advice would you give to yourself? And remember, it is all about discipline. Talent is cheap. It is not because of talent that a person reaches where he or she is. In my learning, in my experience, it's all about resilience. It's all about tenacity. It is all about that self-discipline, that urge to do well, that hunger. And remember this statement: when talent doesn't work hard, hard work overtakes talent. Next question. What are your top 3 goals of 2021? And I hope you remember the difference between goals and desires. I've shared this with you earlier. If you have attended that session, you should know that difference. Many times we just state a desire and think we have set a goal. Sorry, those are two very, very different things. And you heard Mukesh Bhai talking about the importance of setting goals. That gives you direction. And goals for me are like the rivers of a bank, and the banks of a river help the river flow. Remember, a river without its banks is just a large puddle. It's going nowhere. Very interesting. Next question. Why are these goals so important for you? What is at stake? How will it impact your life in case you achieve it? And I think so. This is a loaded question. What is at stake? नहीं करोगे तो क्या फर्क पड़ेगा? If you want a one-liner for this, remember, compensation drives behavior. When the stakes are high, our energy is different. Our focus is different. You will not miss out. You will not be late if the stakes are high. And one of my dream is, when we have our sessions, if the session starts at 6:30, 6:29, we should close the meeting. No one is allowed to enter after 6:29 and 59 seconds. Can we have that rigor? Can we have that discipline? What is at stake? Let us go deeper. What are the 3 milestones for each of your 3 goals that you need to cross to ensure that you achieve these goals? And what are the timelines for these milestones? So if I want to go from point A to point B, my current reality to my desired state, as I move from here to here, what are the milestones that I need to cross so that I know I am on the right track? And my dear boys and girls, if we do not have answers to these questions, guess what? 2021 will just be one more year, and one more year added to our life. But we need to add life to our years, not years to our life. And I, for one, believe that you cannot add life to your years if you do not know your purpose, if you do not know why you are doing what you are doing. Think about what are those milestones. And for you to visualize this is, let's say, if I have to travel from Ahmedabad to Baroda. So on the highway, you see those milestones. So as I enter the highway, it has to tell me that Nadiyad, Anand, Baroda. It cannot be showing me Bhavnagar, Rajkot, Jamnagar. Do you have milestones on the way of your achieving the goals? Because what would happen otherwise, you would take all the pain to climb the rungs of a ladder, reach the top of the ladder, only to realize that this ladder was leaning against a wrong wall. So check out the milestones, 3 milestones. You could have more, but minimum 3 milestones for each of those 3 goals. And what are your timelines? Next one. What are the 3 things that you must do on a daily basis to achieve those goals? On a daily basis. Not in days. Leadership is developed on a daily basis, not in days. That's one of my favorite quotes on leadership said by Dr. John C. Maxwell. On a daily basis. And that is what Prakriti said. She spoke about the importance of preparation. Your preparation is going to tell you your destination. And guess what? If I'm not preparing, I'm not moving. And preparation is not glamorous. It is a sad reality. You need to prepare when the world is sleeping. So before I miss out, 3 pieces of advice to all young boys and girls for this year of 2021 from Anand. You can write it down on your notebook, make this your WhatsApp status, write it somewhere where it is visible to you on a daily basis. Could be on your softboard, could be in your washroom, could be in your bedroom, could be in your dressing table. Write it as many times and as many places as you possibly can. Number 1, in this year, I will read what no one else is reading. In this new year, I will think what no one else is thinking. And in this new year, I will do what no one else is doing. Read what no one else is reading. Think what no one else is thinking. Do what no one else is doing. That's how you get into the sphere of excellence. And then my challenge to you is think about what will you do on a daily basis. Next one is, how will your life improve when you achieve your goals? Remember, it is not the attainment of the goal, it is the achieving of the goal. It is the person that I become in the process of achieving the goal. That's important. So what kind of person do I want to become? Maybe a person who is more resilient in this year, a person who is more tenacious in this year, a person who listens more, a person who does not judge anyone, a person who does not manage by perceptions, a person who does not get into arguments but into discussions, a person who is willing to expand his or her horizon of thinking. What kind of person would you want to become in your pursuit of achieving the goals that you have set for yourself? And when you achieve it, how will you reward yourself? It's important that we celebrate success, no matter how small those successes. And in this new year, maybe you should become a person who moves away from criticizing to celebrating. Maybe one of your goal of the kind of person that you should become is, I will not find faults. I'll find solutions. I'll find a remedy. I will not find problems. I will acknowledge people. I'll appreciate people. I'll affirm people. I will be firm. I will be fair. And I'll be fun. These are some good things to strive for as you go about achieving your goals. How would you reward yourself? And the question that I asked you a while back, are these goals or are they merely your desires? Anyone who can kind of reflect upon the past learnings and share with us the difference between goals and desires? Check out your notes. दोनों में फर्क क्या होता है?
I think goals have well-defined parameters, right? We have learned about 5F goals. So if you have desires, you don't have these parameters to judge it on, right? Or to
You have that's a good word. So goals have some fixed criteria, parameters on which you evaluate your progress. So you measure it. So it's objective. So that's a good word, Prakriti. Good, thank you. So goals have parameters. What else? If you're looking for a one-liner here, so please make a note of this. Don't wish for it, work for it. So are you just wishing for it or are you working for it? If wishes were horses, beggars would ride. I'm sure some of you would know that thought or quotation. Okay, so let's understand the difference. I think so. I have done this before, and I'm surprised that none of you are able to recall. It only tells me that only few of you make notes. Please, in this year of 2020, form a habit of writing. It's a good habit. Anyways, right? So if you were to look at the difference between goals and desires, I'm not going to go into the depth of it because that's not the session that we are having, but it's important that you understand this. The first point. Can anyone explain this?
Goal is an intrinsic thing, like we want something, so we are defining a goal for it, and it does not change by the external circumstances or situations or parameters or what
Good.
other people think.
Good. That's a good answer. It is, I alone own it. Yeah, so no one else can do it for me. Good. Very nice. Anyone else would want to give it a try?
if goal was a business, then only we would be the stakeholders because we were the ones who have to do it.
Okay. So you are your biggest, remember that quote that I have shared with you some time back? Let me put it in different words. If you were a company and you are a listed company on the stock exchange, Is your stock price going up or is it sliding down? Why would someone invest in you? And if you have attended our entire series on personal branding, we have spoken about why should someone recommend you, hire you, promote you, give you references, basically to do business with you or have any association with you. Why should someone? So goal is something that I alone own. No one else can do it for me. If I have set up a goal for me to be a better listener in this year, as an example, I have to do it. No one else is going to do it for me. If in this year, if I have set up a goal that I need to get in top shape physically, I cannot expect someone else to go and run for me. I cannot expect someone to have discipline in terms of what I eat and what I don't eat. I need to do it myself. And to all youngsters, young boys and girls on the call, one of your goals in this year should be 5 new words on a daily basis. Build your vocabulary in this year. Write one essay on a daily basis. Just think about it. What kind of command you will have over the language if you were to write 364 essays in this year, because the 1st of January is already out. So we have 364 days, including today, before 2022 comes in. Think about if you were to learn 5 new words, new idioms, new thoughts, new quotations. Doesn't it add value to your communication? To all young boys and girls, I will learn the tables all over again. I will learn the tables from 1 to 31 in the horizontal, and in the vertical I'll go down from 1 to 13. So 1 to 13 vertically and 1 to 31 horizontally. And there's a science and there's a research done, there's a study done on this. I find it so amusing when I meet some people, they just can't do simple mathematics. For every simple thing, they need a mobile phone or a calculator. And they say, you know what, in a school and college, they allow calculators. And they talk as if, you know, it is a statement that could win you an Oscars. One of my goals this year is that I will read one book every month. And I will make a presentation on it. I will video record myself doing the book summary of that book, and I will post it on LinkedIn. What if you have 12 book reviews, business book reviews that you post on LinkedIn? Aren't you building a brand? Remember, what is a brand? Brand is a promise. Brand is an expectation of an experience. I can do it for myself. No one else can do it for me. This year, I will have at least one certification that will add to my resume every month. And for those who may not know, most of you know, just to repeat and pardon me the repetition, in the year 2020, I finished the year at 452 books. Let me give you the exact count. 452 books, and let me just check my phone and I will let you know. 452 books, and I have read 4,247 pages, and I have done more than 430 certification programs. In this year, I will have nothing to do with Netflix. Robin Sharma says this beautifully. Average people focus upon entertainment. Extraordinary people focus upon education. Is that your goal for this year? Then talking personal brand makes sense. Otherwise, it's just a good session that you come and learn a few things, and then it's evaporated before the clock turns 12. This year, I will read Economic Times every day. This year, I'll build my business acumen. These are goals. What are desires? If goals I alone own, desires is out of my control. It's also called the serenity prayer. You know what is the serenity prayer? The serenity prayer says, God, give me the serenity to accept the things I cannot change, the courage to change the things I can, and the wisdom to know the difference. And your life is in your hand. Number 2 point, a goal is what we control in the circle of influence, whereas a desire is out of my control. It's like I follow a process, and that process will give me the results. The outcome may not always be in my control because that is a desire, but the preparation is in my control. The intensity of that preparation, the discipline, the rigor of that is in my control. That's a goal. Number 3, we work for goals and we pray for desires. And you work very, very, very hard. You heard Mukesh Bhai talking about that statement, there is no substitute to hard work. Remember, hard work comes before success only in the dictionary. And preparation comes before success even in the dictionary. So are you preparing or are you repairing? And in this last year, I have spoken about these points. Some of you may have made notes on it. You work for your goals. You pray for your desires. Number 3 is goals are to do with activities within the parameters that Prakriti was mentioning. And those activities, I plot it on my calendar. It is scheduled. It is predictable. But do you have a calendar? Think about it. And desires are to do with results, and results, outcomes are not in my control. And the last is a goal is scheduled. It is predictable. It has to do with time management. So if it is Saturday, if it is 6:30, you will have Anand on a Zoom call. It is predictable. Unless there is some network outage, you will not find Anand ever logging in even a minute late. I need to manage my tasks professionally. I need to learn to manage myself. Yeah, and goals are unscheduled. So for this year of 2021, whatever you have thought of, whatever be your resolutions, whatever be your goals, the challenge that I want to throw to each one of you is that a goal or is it a desire? And I would encourage you to write down 3 goals, not more, 3 goals. Because you need to have focus like a laser and you have a vision like rays of sun. तो इस साल में मैं करना क्या चाहता हूं? Or are we getting into what the world is getting into, the habit of making excuses? Remember, Jim Rohn, one of my favorite, has said this so beautifully. It is for me to choose between the pain of discipline or the pain of regret. And I know you know it all, that the pain of regret weighs in tons, whereas the pain of discipline weighs in ounces. So I would want to encourage you to think about this year as a breakthrough year. Set your mind to it, that I will be the best version of myself. I am not going to play second fiddle. I am not going to ride as a pillion rider. I am going to take control of my career. And this year could be a tipping point in your life. From here, you grow exponentially, not just linearly. Life and Dr. R.A. Marshalkar, who is the chairman of Reliance Innovation Council and one of the most respected innovation gurus of our country, he says this: don't leapfrog, you need to pole vault. And my wish and pray for everyone listening to me live and who would listen to the recorded version is, may God help you have a pole vault year in this, the year of 2020. You pole vault. You don't just leapfrog. Leapfrog, those days are over. These are the days of pole vaulting. Right, so some challenges to each one of you, and I would want you to think about it. Take your career seriously. And write it on your softboard. I am not going to watch television this year. I'm not going to watch Netflix this year. Then don't come and say, Anand, I need some entertainment also. That time will come. याद रखिएगा, जो लोग टीवी देखते हैं वो टीवी में आते नहीं है. Yeah. Okay. Anyways, right. So that's what I thought. Let me start with challenging each one of you, and hopefully you will take it further on this. Okay. Any questions before we dive deep into our content?
What does pole vault means?
Okay. So what does pole vault mean? Visuals teach us better than words. Yes or no? Okay. So here is the video to help Prakriti get the answer of her question. Do you have the screen in front of you?
Yes, yes.
This is pole vault.
Jest już na naszych ekranach Mondo Duplantis.
I znów
Tak
wstają
jest,
kibice
wszyscy
w arenie
wstaną.
Toruń.
No i czekaj, patrzmy teraz, gdzie złapie tyczkę Mondo. Ten plaster taki zawinięty, przewinął go i gdzie będzie? Podniósł trochę uchwyt. Podniósł trochę uchwyt i proszę Państwa, zabawa się zaczyna. Ruszy za chwilę Mondo i kto wie, pięknie płynie po tym rozbiegu. W górę Mondo! Jest rekord świata w Toruniu! Ale...
This is pole vault.
Wow.
Would that person be able to clear this by doing a leap? You know, frogs do a leapfrog. The word leapfrog came from frogs. They leapfrog. So they would jump maybe 1 feet. This guy would have jumped maybe 50 feet.
Correct.
So are you pole vaulting in your career? You have the opportunity. Remember, performance is equal to potential minus interference. Write this equation down in case you have not already written it down. Performance is equal to potential minus interference. Your interference in your mind. This is pole vault. But we don't seem to be surrounding ourselves with people who pole vault. We seem to be surrounding ourselves with people who are not even walking, who are snail walking. It's like dire dire holle holle types. That's not what we should be doing. So does this visual answer your question?
Yes, thank you.
Most welcome. So one of the greatest pole vaulter was a Russian athlete. If I remember Russian athlete, I don't know which country, but his name was Sergei Bubka. And he's like the Sachin Tendulkar of pole vault, holds, I think so, all the records that are there to be held. Okay, chalo. That's question answered. Any other question?
Sir, Kirti here.
Yes, madam. Majama છો?
Saru છે. Sir, no question, but very openly, I would like to share ki whenever I used to attend your training, I feel ashamed that you are teaching so many things and I myself is not able to apply the things. I hardly able to apply 5 to 10%. So I want to be like you. I want to follow your path, but somewhere so many things छूट जाती है चीजें तो 2021 में I will try my best कि at least I should act on 50%. It's not
Okay.
50%, there should be 40-50% that has been told by you and I should keep on going on the track.
Okay, let me give you the answer for this.
Yes.
I'm just trying to pull out. Okay, so Kirti madam, the answer to the question is on your screen.
ये चलता रहेगा, मांगोगे तो एक
मगर नहीं मांडवा में हमेशा मुझे ही कहते
चलो 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 कमजोर नहीं कह सकता कि उसने पहलवान को माफ किया, जरूरी है उसके बाद उसकी मर्जी नहीं की और नहीं तो कुछ भी नहीं
और पहलवान
तेरा
18
इससे मुझे ताकत मिल हो घने हो बड़े बड़े हो घने हो बड़े हो भले खड़े वृक्ष.
Madam, this is your answer. So please pay attention to this next few words. So you got your answer, madam?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Thank you very much. Really, thank you.
जब तक मैं और आप वो अग्निपथ पे नहीं चलने वाले ना, जिंदगी में कोई भी चीज हमको आसानी से नहीं मिलती. प्लेट पर सिर्फ माँ खाना परोसती है. माँ के अलावा जिंदगी में कोई चीज प्लेट पे मिलती नहीं है. यू हैव टू अर्न इट. एंड वो अर्न करने की आपका रिजॉल्व हैज टू बी. दिस इज वन ऑफ माय फेवरेट पोएम्स. ये है और एक पोएम है, कोशिश करने वाले की कभी हार नहीं होती, by हरिवंश राय बच्चन.
Yes, sir. वो मुझे जुबानी है. And earlier, before 2-3 years, हमने युवालय में आपका अटेंड किया था और उस वक्त से मैंने स्क्रीन टाइम 0 कर दिया था ऑलमोस्ट फॉर से ऑलमोस्ट 1 year और उसके बाद वापस बैक टू पैवेलियन. सो आज अभी आपने बोला नो टीवी, मैंने यस लिख दिया है. लेट्स सी, आई विल कीप ऑन माय वर्ड्स. सो आई विल डू दैट.
You will. So, a good decision is half the journey traveled, right? So you have already made a good decision, and then, so whatever you want to do it for Akash, right?
Yes, sir.
So whenever we have an emotional element aligned and assigned to our goals, we will do it, and we will not give up in between. Yes, so any one of you on the call who is struggling, we all struggle, and Kirti madam just has the courage to share it with all of us. We all struggle, we all start, we don't finish. And I think so this poem of Agnipath is just amazing. It is just amazing. And you need to have that shapath for this 2021 that I'm going to build a personal brand which is like the best the world has seen in your domain. Why can't
Yes,
why
Akshay,
can't
thank you.
why can't we be like the Indian cricket team that showed that resolve and that resilience to bounce back and win the match after being dismissed for 36 runs when the world was saying that they will thrash us 4-0. Take my word, we will win the series 3-1. That is what life is, right? So anyways, so वो अग्निपथ होना चाहिए. Okay, chalo, next question before I show you what we wanted to learn today. Okay, chalo, no questions. So let us get into what. Can anyone help me with the last bit that we learned in our uh, personal brand series? Where were we? Where did we stop?
We were on step 5, let go of yourself in the steps to build a personal brand.
Thank you. So we did we do the reinvent yourself?
Yes.
Did we do the spice thing in terms of are you investing in yourself? I'm not sure. Okay, so anyways, we were at step 5. Where is step 5? So did we do believe in yourself? Did we do the Amitabh Bachchan and Shashi Kapoor wala thing?
Yes, yes.
Okay. Did we talk about the reinvent yourself?
Yes.
Okay. Build yourself?
Yes.
I think so.
In Build Yourself, you told us about that book also, Blue Ocean Strategy.
Correct. Okay. So we need to get into step 5, which is let go of yourself. Chalo, good. So when we talk about the Blue Ocean Strategy, how many of you have read that book, the Blue Ocean Strategy? Because
I'm reading it.
you are reading it, very nice, very good. At least you are reading it. That is good. Anyone else who is at least attempting to read it, because it's a pretty heavy book. Okay, no worries. Let me pull up that presentation once again because I had so many presentations open side by side. Do you have the screen in front of you?
Yes.
Okay. So do you remember what was white space that we learned last time?
Yes, it's something that's undiscovered, right? You have to identify it, then you have to build on it.
That's right, right? So I hope you are working on that. So let's get into step 5. And what are you willing to give up to go up? Like we heard Kirti madam say that she's willing to give up entertainment to go up in her life for the sake of her children. So I would want all of you to think about what is that one thing or two things or a few things that you're willing to give up. I need to give up the good so that I can be great. And a book that you may want to read on this is a book titled Good to Great by Jim Collins. It's a fabulous book. It's a pretty heavy book. You may find it a book that induces perfect sleep, but that's absolutely fine. Good to great, and I like one statement that Jim Collins makes in that book. He says, "Good is the enemy of great." And I said, wow. And then it goes on to give so many examples of organizations and companies. They were good companies, but they did not become great companies. And there are so many sports people who are good cricketers, but they don't become great cricketers. Yeah, so what are you willing to give up to go up is what we start this whole sequence with. Look at this statement, read this statement, and it would be good if one of you can explain what this statement means.
Sir,
Yeah,
the statement is about learn to say no.
fantastic, very good, very nice, very nice, nicely summarized and nicely understood. VS, yeah. So your name is VS.
Sir, my name is Vraj. I forgot to change that VS
Oh,
to Vraj.
VS means very special. So that was a very special answer, Braj. Very nice. So learn to say no. And how difficult is it to say no to your friends who are inviting you to have fun? Well, your calendar says it's time to learn and study. Yeah, so great answer, Raj. Thank you for that. We need not be uh, getting sucked up into that peer pressure जहाँ पर हम सबको खुश करना चाहते हैं. आप किसी को खुश करो या ना करो, it is not going to matter in the. I'm not saying become arrogant. I will never ever say that, but I need to know my priorities. So I need to learn to say no. इसके ऊपर एक book पढ़नी है तो एक book आप पढ़िएगा which is titled Do Not Say Yes When You Want to Say No. This is a beautiful book. It talks about 3 secrets. You may want to read that book. Next one. Except for Grudge. Someone else, please explain.
Sir, can you please tell again book name?
Do not say yes when you want to say no. जब आपको no बोलना है तब आप yes मत बोलिए. छोटी सी किताब है, about 150-200 पन्ने की किताब है. You should read that book. And you know, funnily, अगर आप let's say बड़ौदा या अहमदाबाद से हो, I do not know आप कौन कौन से सिटी से इस कॉल पे लॉग इन कर रहे हैं, बट आपके शहर में एक एरिया होगा जहाँ पर किताबें मिलती है पस्ती में, किलो के भाव पे मिलती है. ये हमारे सोसाइटी का सबसे एटलीस्ट मेरे अकॉर्डिंग टू मी सबसे खराब चीज है. हम विद्या को पस्ती में बेचते हैं. एंड जिस समाज में, जिस देश में, जिस कम्युनिटी में विद्या को पस्ती में बेचते हैं, उसका कुछ नहीं हो सकता. राइट. सो आप कोई भी पस्ती वाले के पास जाओ, आपको फैंटास्टिक बुक्स मिल जाएगी. 10 रुपए किलो, 20 रुपए किलो में मिल जाएगी. ओके, चलो नेक्स्ट पॉइंट. व्रज के अलावा मुझे बताओ, हु विल एक्सप्लेन दिस स्टेटमेंट?
I think this means get comfortable with being uncomfortable.
That's right. That's right. That's right. That's right. That's right. Right. So you need to take risk. Don't take blind risk, but you cannot. You know, we need to constantly change our orbits. As the great Dhirubhai Ambani used to say that we are all born in an orbit, but only a few of us are able to break out of that orbit. So we start at a particular level and we end at a particular level of execution, of skills or whatever it is. So yes, you need to, and I need to become comfortable with being uncomfortable, right? Again, ये सब कहना बहुत आसान है, आपके लिए वहाँ पे बैठ के सुनना बहुत आसान है. But take up the challenge in this new year that this year I am going to do something different. I will have the courage to be different. And it takes a lot of courage to be different. Thank you. Prakriti for that answer. Let's look at the next one. And I'm talking about all of you as leaders, because leadership has got nothing to do with title. If you're breathing oxygen, which I'm sure all of you are a leader. And leadership is all about influence. Hence, I'm using the word leader in this slide. So what does it say? Except for Prakriti and Braj? Anyone? Yes, Vraj, that's a good book. Lead Without a Title by Robin Sharma. Absolutely. चलो इसका आंसर कौन बताएगा? So let me pick up a name. Ashish. Okay, Ashish has been quiet. So Ashish, what's your
Yes.
take?
So, from my perspective, it of course says of perspective shifting. We need to see the bigger picture as a leader and not just view a narrow, get a view of narrow, see things from a narrow perspective, but always look at a bigger picture, have a broader perspective, wider perspective of a larger time frame, of a larger
Correct.
time period.
That's right. That's right, Ashish. So two words we'll pick up from what Ashish said. Thank you, Ashish, for that answer. One is look at the big picture and the time horizon. I need to be long term in my thinking. I'll repeat. We need to be long term in our thinking. Most of us are very myopic in our thinking process. We need to be thinking long term. Right, and like I said, obstacles are those frightful things that you see when you take your eyes off your goal, right? So don't be short term in your thinking. So I need to have long term goals, mid term goals, as well as my immediate term goals, right? So good. So what basically through these three sentences or these three paragraphs I'm talking is this one. I need to revisit my courage zone and my comfort zone every about 18 to 36 months. And it is suggested that I spend about 60% doing things that I'm good at, because that is what gives me my bread and butter, but also invest 40% in doing things which are in my zone of learning, also called the courage zone. So what's happening on a regular basis, I'm expanding my comfort zone. So I'll be able to do more in times to come. So I will not be an inch deep and a mile wide person. I will be a mile deep and a mile wide person. So every 18 to 36 months, I need to revisit. And there are questions. If any one of you wants to get deep into this, I will help you with a series of questions that will help you understand what is your comfort zone. There's nothing wrong with being in comfort zone, but what is wrong is staying stuck there, staying put there, and then not doing anything new. That's the problem. So 60% spend your time in doing what you are really good at, and you have built that mastery over time, and the balance 40% of your time you should be and I should be working in my courage zone. That is what it is, right? And point number 6, I'm not sure we have time to complete point number 6, but let me just start it. I need to be reinventing myself, and I need to invest in myself. We saw the reinventing point, and now we are talking about investing in ourselves investing in building our spiritual health, our physical health, our professional health, our personal health, our intellectual health, our am I fit to serve the community, my emotional health, my educational health, my awareness towards the environment, so on and so forth. Right? So what are we doing to build that fitness? So this year of 2021, let us invest our time, resources in becoming Spice F fit. And those of you who attended our goal setting session would know more about this. I'm not sharing or giving more time to this. And you have the template that I have shared with you as well, right? So one of the S that you could add is safety. So what are your safety goals? Not just washing hands and wearing a mask. Please wear a helmet also. The minute you sit in a car, the first thing should be that you wear your seat belt. You will not use your mobile phone while you are on a staircase. You will not use your mobile phone when you're driving or riding. So what's your safety goals? What are your spiritual goals? We need to focus upon that, right? And you need to be yourself, right? So what I would want to do is stop here and complete the 7th part, because the 7th part is pretty long, and would want to take any questions that you may have.
Why was the 5th step called let go of yourself?
Because if you don't let go of yourself, the past is going to hold you, right? So many of us stay trapped in our past and don't stand in your own way of success. There's this beautiful thought, and I'm just trying to paraphrase that. It basically says that it's not that what I can do that stops me from being the best version of myself. It is the perception that I cannot do something. And we have that thought in our mind, no, this is not for me, I can't do it. And that fixated mindset does not allow us to explore ourselves. So basically speaking, I need to move from a fixed mindset to a growth mindset person. Becoming, what is fixed mindset? I am a failure. I failed. I can't do this. What does a growth mindset say? I'm yet to succeed. So when you say let go of yourself, let go of your past burdens, and think about this statement that the past is not a place of residence, it's a place of reference. The past is a place I learn from, but why am I living in the past? So let go of yourself in that sense, right? So good to great is what I mentioned. So if I give up on the good, I will have opportunities to do something better. But हमारा past experiences, हमारे notions keep us stuck at where we are. Look at people. You are working and working for a couple of years now. How many people seem to be growing in their professional life? Very few. It's a minuscule percentage. Why? They don't let go of themselves. You need to change. You need to adapt. And when you adapt
And I think,
yeah, sorry.
And I think one way in which we can look at the statement "let go of yourself" is we get too attached to the kind of person we are that we're not ready to let go of it, so that you can add more and add more value to yourself.
Absolutely, absolutely. So that's what I always say: be the best version of yourself. Do something new. So the question that I would want to ask all of you is: when was the last time you did something for the first time? That is what basically Prakriti is trying to share with us, is we don't let go of ourselves. हम लोग कितनी बार हमने सुना है ना किसी को बोलते हुए, मैं ऐसा ही हूँ आवो छु बोलो शू करवानो. I cannot change you. You cannot change me. It's just I need to let go of myself and embrace the new. The word is embrace the new, and embrace the new with boldness. Okay, good. What else?
So, in this embrace the new, there is a fine line between being firm and embracing the new. So, how do we define that?
That's a good question. You seem to be asking very good questions. I like your questions. Very nice. So you need to be firm on your values. You need to be firm on the resolve to achieve your goals. So let's say if I want to go from Ahmedabad to let's say Baroda. So my objective is to reach Baroda, but I cannot say that I will only go by the express highway. Now, if there is a lorry that overturned last night and there was a huge 10-15 kilometer long traffic jam, but I'll say, no, मैं तो यहीं से जाऊंगा. So then you are going to get stuck there. So can I embrace the new? Can I go through the state highway? But I'm firm on reaching Baroda. So when the going gets tough, I'm not changing the goal, but I'm just changing the sail. You know, when the winds are not favorable, what do? You adjust your sail. But then we become so romantic about the path that I'm taking. Be firm on your on the goals that you would want to achieve. All that, be firm there. No compromise there. I'm not going to give up, but I will embrace the new. Like you saw the Indian cricket team embracing the new. They had a new strategy to cope with the Australians, and they I think so the Australians lost it in the mind. So we were ready with a strategy that they did not think of. So you embrace the new. We did not say, okay, we will only bowl the way we wanted to bowl. Then you become rigid. You are not flexible. You lose your agility. So that's yes, there's a thin line. So you do not get too bogged down in the path. What you need to be focused upon, be firm on following the process. I'm not going to let go of the process. But yes, I will embrace the new, because the world is evolving, the business is evolving. Take the pandemic, for example. People who resisted that, okay, we will not change. Where are they? Those companies are evaporating. They are becoming irrelevant. And in the last 6 months, 8 months, how many companies have absolutely shut down business? Why? They did not embrace the new way of working. So many new things are coming up every day. Take Reliance, for example. How are they embracing the new? In the last year of 2020, we raised 260,000 crores as capital. 260,000 crores. It is unheard in corporate India. So you are embracing the new way of working while you are firm on your decision of becoming a world-class company or whatever it is. So the example that comes to my mind is what our chairman said, and you can listen to him on the AGM of 2019 or 2020 rather. He said that we will be a net debt-free company by 31st March 2021. That we were firm on that. And suddenly the pandemic hit. So what did we do? We embraced the new way of doing business, new way of raising money. We raised it. The petrochemical side of our business, 80% of our business was sold domestically, only 20% was exported. Now, during the pandemic and lockdown, the entire country was in lockdown. I cannot stop production. The production has to go on. So I'm firm on my decision to not stop production, because that would be a huge expense and losses would be in thousands of crores. So what did we? We embraced the new. We said, okay, can I change the model from 80% domestic sales to about 100% exports? And we did that in 2 weeks. In 2 weeks, we changed the entire model and we started exporting almost 100% of our petrochemical products into a market that was basically embracing the new. Now the availability of crude is becoming challenged with each passing day. So we are embracing the new by moving from oil to a chemicals company. And listen to the chairman. He in the AGM, you will listen to so many examples that we are embracing the new while staying firm in creating customer value, in creating shareholder value, in creating employee value, in creating societal value. So that doesn't change. I hope it answers your question.
Yes, sir. It was great explanation.
That's a very good question, Raj. Very nice. And give you an example of a very unlikely company that did not embrace the new is Google. Google Meets is not a platform that can match up to Zoom. And for once, Google did not give us a world-class product. And it is still not embracing the new. Because I get to work on all three platforms extensively. Yeah, so okay, that was a good question. Any other thoughts, suggestions, questions?
Sir, so if you have time, can we go deep into that courage and comfort zone one? Questions.
Next time, because we hardly have 5 minutes on the call left. But we'll cover that. We will cover that.
Sure,
So
sure.
basically, you need to understand what are the skills that you have today that you can do it with your eyes closed. So that's your comfort zone. And how do you expand yourself in doing new, adding new skills to yourself? Do more of it. For example, what bike do you drive or ride? Do you ride something?
Yes, a scooter.
Okay,
Pleasure
so
or duet.
whatever it is. So when you are driving a two-wheeler, do you have to check आप कौन से gear में चला रहे हो, or does it just flow automatically?
Well, actually, that's auto gear, so I don't have to check. I just crossed 18 this year, so now I will learn the biking gear one.
So when you are driving your auto gear wala scooty or Duro or whatever it is, so do you have to worry about your gear nahi jayega or are you able to balance the vehicle?
Yes, we are able to balance actually.
But think about the day that you started learning how to drive a two-wheeler. Was it difficult?
Yes.
Right.
Pretty
So what
difficult.
you started building up on your courage zone, and now driving or riding a two-wheeler is your comfort zone. Now, if you start thinking about, let's say, driving a car, let's say driving a lorry, or maybe flying a plane. So it's basically a driving, right? So, but what happens is metamorphically speaking, we remain in a life, the entire life only riding a scooter. We don't go beyond. Take I don't know how many, if you understand cricket or not. You follow cricket?
Yes, somewhat.
Somewhat. Okay. So do you know some players like Cheteshwar Pujara?
Yes.
So think about Cheteshwar Pujara. Why does he not play one-day cricket and T20? He's not getting out of his comfort zone. He's very good at what he does, but he needs to move into the courage zone. How many players do you think are like a Virat Kohli who are averaging 50 in all three formats? So they become good at one area of their play or their area of working, and then they evolve. So we need to evolve. So we should not get into a routine and a rut where every day morning we get up and do the same thing every day. That's a recipe of disaster. Yeah, so that is basically what it means.
So that's the embrace the new,
That's
evolve
right.
and
Embracing the new and letting go of the past. Take the exam. Not sure whether you will know it. When we were students, our parents used to buy canvas shoes from Bata. Do you know the company called Bata?
yes.
Right. So why hasn't Bata grown as fast as a Nike or a Reebok? Because they never embrace the new. Take one more example as I close. Think of Micromax mobile. Have you heard of Micromax mobiles?
Yes.
What happened to them? They did not embrace the new. They thought the world is going to end with 4G phones or 3G phones. And they built their manufacturing capacities with about 75%, 80% of production capacity limited to 3G phones. Now the 4G evolution happened and revolution happened rather, and no one has Micromax today. What happened to BlackBerry? They were companies that got stuck into that comfort zone and did not evolve, did not embrace the new. आप अपने पेरेंट्स को जाके पूछो कि उनकी शादी कौन से कैमरा में उनकी पिक्चर क्लिक करी गई थी, तो उनकी शादी की पिक्चर्स कोडैक नाम के कैमरा में शायद क्लिक करी गई होगी. So Kodak was a huge company, was one of the largest companies in the world. Today it's a bankrupt company. And then you will look at companies which have not been agile, not adapted. Companies ho, individuals ho, societies ho, they will become irrelevant sooner rather than later. Yeah, so anyways, right? So any other thoughts, suggestions? If no, yes, sorry, Prakriti.
I want to share something.
Yes.
Anand, till now we have been learning about personal branding for a long time now, and it's not just the content that you're sharing. Today, I learned something indirect. I would like to share that with everybody. When Kirti ma'am asked the question about how she should handle this situation that she's going through, and you, instead of replying, you played a video, which was not only a simple thing to do but very engaging. And when we talk about personal brand, it's also about impact, right? When you communicate with somebody, how long lasting is that small communication with them. So these indirect small things, I mean, if we can learn this from you as well, I think that's wonderful. So thank you so much.
So it all comes because you just cannot be, whether in an informal platform such as this or in the offices which is more formal, you just cannot be in one frame. You need to be multi-dimensional. So I did not know that you will ask me that pole vault question, but I need to know what pole vaulting is. Right? So I don't watch movies, but I know that there is this poem called Agnipath, which is such an amazing poem that charges us up if you're getting stuck somewhere. So when you are constantly reading, when you're constantly building yourself up, you become a kind of a multiplex. So today is a day of multiplex. No one goes to a single screen theater. So I, under one roof, should be able to do multiple things. And yeah, then it is just God's grace that, in the spur of the moment, okay, this is that movie, this is that poem. So you search it for for that on YouTube, and you get it, right? So yeah, that comes with a lot of practice, that comes with a lot of studies. So if you would want to, and everyone on call would want to learn something from me, is constantly be learning. Don't let your guards down. And in this year, I hope all of you will at least read 15 minutes before you go to bed. तो अगर आप वो करोगे तो you will have you will be, what should I say, you will be able to navigate through challenges of life far more easier than otherwise. But I know of so many people who are only one dimensional. You cannot be one dimensional. In my opinion, you need to be multi-dimensional. Yeah, but thank you.
And at what time shall I call you? I haven't forgotten.
Yes, that's a good question. So I've got a call after this. So maybe at about 10:15, give me a call if that's okay with you that time. Or tomorrow,
Perfect.
at about lunchtime, whatever suits you.
Okay, done. Thank you.
Welcome. Okay, back to you, Patel sir.
Yes, sir. Prakriti, what can I say? I'm just listening, and see, there is a change that keeps on happening. I would say, every sentence is so perfect, is or well-meaning, and the way he speaks. I think for us, from that angle, is something not only to learn how to communicate, but of course there's a deeper meaning. That's what we have to get. All those listening, understanding, I'm sure they are the biggest beneficiary. Thank you, AB, for such wonderful sessions. Thank you.
Thank you for your kind words. Thank you. And wish all of you a great year ahead.
Right?
Yeah, sorry, someone was saying something.
No, I was just asking Braj Shah.
Okay.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, Braj, I think the kind of sessions that we are listening are something which are simply amazing, right?
Yes.
Thank you for those kind words. So thank you.
Yep. I mean, today
Thank
we're
you.
very intense.
Should I call you sir, AB, or answer? What should I call you?
Yeah, please. You can call me Anand, you can call me uncle, you can call me anyone. You can call me Anand bhai. Don't call me sir. That is the only thing. Because sir, I have a sir, but that is not my name.
So as a respect, I tell you, I will call you AB. It is simply great, like you just motivate with your words and gestures. Before I sleep today, I am going to think about this, just this. And that's for every Saturday. I just wait for the Saturdays.
Thank you. Thank you, Raj, for those kind words. And
thank you.
That is what we are supposed to do as elders, as parents, as people who have got some more of years of experience than you, right? So let me finish by what is my mindset. So my mindset is very simple, that each successive generation should be better than the previous generation. So you are the next generation. So my job is to guide you. My job is to lead you. My job is to encourage you. My job is to give you some directions. You have the talent, you have the resources. And when talent and resources marry with discipline and direction, the product that you get is simply world class, absolutely outstanding. I wish more people do this, and there is heaven on earth here. You don't have to go anywhere else to find heaven. I think so. This itself is heaven on earth. But anyways, thank you for those kind words. I appreciate that. And
the sentences flow. Oh God.
It just flows. So, and some hotline connection with the one sitting upstairs. So And
There
you
are
know, every
very
year,
what
all bacha parties, all youngsters. One of the other things, forget about all these things. These are all secondary things. This year, you will stand strong on your character. Nothing should happen in this year that will um, shake you from the roots of your character, right? So that is, you forget everything that I have shared with you over the last many years. But remember one thing: character before competence. So this year should be a year that you grow really strong on your character, and then everything will flow.
Done. Promise.
Absolutely. Right. So Patel sir, thank you for the wonderful work that you do. We wish you a great year ahead, a year of health and happiness, joy, and the impact that you create is also absolutely amazing, outstanding. So we thank you for your life, and we pray for good health and peace, and more people be influenced, and hopefully they'll become the HT Patels of the future. So Vraj would become an HP Patel of the future. That's about 60 years from now, 50 years from now, 40 years from now. So what we are doing, we are creating, what you are doing is you're building and creating the generations who will serve society like you do. So thank you, sir, for all that you do.
Yeah, this session, at least I'm going to send this recording to my son.
Please do that, sir. Please.
Thank you, dear. Thank you, sir. Thank you very
Bye-bye.
much.
Bye.
Yes.
Sir. Bye.